Here's what happened in this season of the Ultimate Recap.
I've been getting cut off recently in my discussions about Superman. Benny will be talking soon.
Hi, Rob.
Benny, my man. Benny, you and I need to come to an understanding. He won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
Hang on a second.
And I'm back. You see, folks, I am actually a Green Lantern, and I've gone ahead and fired Caitlin, and she should know that by now. And Rob should be receiving a notification very soon. Some of you may know our new host, Sal.
Please, don't make me do this.
Benny, I'm coming for you. Benny is on vacation right now.
Hello?
These people are insane.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ultimate Comic Book Recap, the show where we recap comics that came out last week, giving you only the essentials so that you have a fresh starting off point. Now, of course, Benny was not here last week, and he won't be here this week, and he won't be here next week either, you know, because he chose to be a Green Lantern. Yellow Lanterns, Celestial Corps, Fear. What is that? What is that? No! No, it can't be!
Rob, you can't take my show from me, so let's go ahead and talk about Secret Empire number 2. We pick up right where we left off, with the basic event started up, and Captain America trying to stay as a Hydra agent, and he intends to use the Cosmic Cube to permanently make the reality a Hydra reality with no way of fixing it. But don't worry, the Dr. Eric Sleve, I can never pronounce his name. Anyway, that guy went ahead and separated the Cosmic Cube pieces so that Captain America doesn't actually have them. Now, to undo this horrific reality, the good guys now need to collect the 7 Dragon Balls and wish on Shenron for all of reality to be fixed. I'm just kidding. They actually have to get those Cosmic Cube pieces before Steve Rogers can actually get his hands on them. Sal, why don't you take over with Superman number 23?
All right, we're actually doing a real comic. Oh, no!
It's naive to believe that this world is not controlled by fear, Benny. If you do that, it'll consume you instead of you controlling it. Just look at Sal. Superman number 23 shows us what happens when you with old man Mr. Jenkins' farm. Your son gets hooked up to a chair that's like the one from Clockwork Orange that turns people into red Superman. Your wife's leg gets cut off. Oh, and a bonus! Manchester Black gets to be your son's new daddy. How's that for Superman's living nightmare?
Oh my god, an actual comic, thank you. Batman number 23 is the filler break we needed this week, when Batman teams up with Swamp Thing to solve the murder of Swamp Thing's father, Alan Moore? I think, no, it actually is Alan Moore. Regardless, it gets downright existential between Batman and Swamp Thing when Batman discovers that Alec has been using him to try and get his father's killer to enact revenge, despite the fact that he promised Bruce that he would not. Apparently, Bruce was swayed by what Alec told him, that nothing really truly dies, and all returns to the green and to life itself, a story that was shattered when he sees Alec grieve for his father's demise.
Trinity number 9 brings us back to the world of dreams and illusion, or does it? Regardless, Cyborg has used his boom to summon the legendary Trinity to the Justice League Watchtower, where they find it completely desolated and under attack by some kind of bizarre alien infection. The Lanterns have been infected by head-eating crabs, and Cyborg has been ripped limb from limb and left to float hopelessly through space. Sadly, Batman is not Sigourney Weaver, and upon rescuing Cyborg, the two find themselves quickly trapped and facing immediate infection and suffocation until the Flash comes in at the last moment to rescue them both. In the end, Wonder Woman and Superman discover that due to the nature of the attack on the Justice League Watchtower, it and everyone on board is currently risking the entire contamination of Earth unless they are eradicated immediately.
Sorry, Caitlin, but I'm gonna take over Invincible Iron Man number 7. So basically, we're following along with the life of Riri Williams, looking for colleges and doing things like that. It's actually not that interesting until the Tony Stark AI shows back up and shows that it is pretty much almost like a perfect copy of Tony Stark, like way too close to Tony Stark. So when she starts to lose a battle, it basically takes over for her, returns her back to base, and then it chooses to mentor her as a blue space ghost. I mean, as the AI version of Tony Stark. or Jedi, whatever you really want to say. It's a weird situation. He's like a blue hologram.
It's Jane Foster versus the Cosmic Phoenix in Mighty Thor number 19. In this issue, Phoenix breaks down the barriers of the mind and the body and actually converses with Jane Foster sans her Thor persona via the telepathic plane to make a deal with her. Jane Foster decides the deal with the Cosmic Phoenix is a no-go and actually manages to summon Mjolnir herself to the cosmic plane and deals a hefty blow to the Phoenix. After Thor and Quentin are both embroiled in battle against Phoenix, who else shows up but Odin's son? After a long reprieve in Unworthy Thor, we finally get some good old crossover action with our classic legacy Thor, who joins in the fight. After a long battle, they fend off the Phoenix by allowing Quentin Quire to absorb some of her vast energy for himself, to the point where Quentin actually becomes a replacement god for the Shi'ar, whose gods are currently in God jail. That's a thing. In the end, the Phoenix goes off to seek a more suitable and historic host, while Thor grapples with the inevitability of her cancer, and we prepare for the arrival of the God of Gods, the destroyer of destroyers, the fate that can befall any god, being, or universe, Mangog.
So here's a question. Can Jonathan and Damian sneak out of the house, stay past curfew, and team up against Kid Amazo all at the same time? Well, in Super Sons number 4, they managed to do at least one of those things. The story's pretty amazing. We get to see an appearance from Lex Luthor, who's summoned by Damian Wayne. But the worst thing about all this, and really the most
willpower will prevail, Rob. Now, kicking off Teen Titans number 8, we have the continuation of the Lazarus Contract. This is the storyline in which Slade Wilson is trying to find a way to revive his dead son from the grave. And his plan, get New 52 Wally West in the classic Wally West, get one of them to give him speedster power so that he can run back in time. Well, classic Wally West knows what Slade is doing and basically says, hey, I'm not falling for that again. But New 52 Wally West apparently was lured with a piece of candy. No, actually, it's a classic Thunderbird, and Slade offered to help him fix it, and it was a whole thing. But basically, New 52 Wally West did discover that there is a classic Wally West, and they both have the same name. Why hasn't Barry told him the truth? Well, hey, that's exactly what's going on there. Then, with his lure of a classic car and the ability to possibly revive his entire past and fix the situation with his father, Deathstroke finds a way to steal all of the Speed Force powers out of New 52 Wally West, turning him into Deathstroke Speedster. With all of this epic awesomeness going on, we have Damian and Dick fighting. Yeah, that's like the worst subplot ever when you just made Deathstroke a speedster. Hey Sal, why don't you take over with US Avengers number 6? Ugh!
In US Avengers number 6, you know what? That's enough. That's it. Nope.
No, Sal, you can't give up. We need you.
What could you possibly need me for, Benny? What even is this? I thought we were recapping comics.
I need you to save this show. No, the viewers from Rob, Sal. You need hope.
This show has viewers?
Yes, Sal. And doesn't that make you angry to know that this is what gets views?
A little bit, I guess.
Good. Give in to your anger and join the Red Lantern Corps if you must, but I suggest you seize control of your fear and join the Sinestro Corps.
No, Sal! Hope is on its way!
Nope, I'm out. I don't know how you people function in real life, but this whole thing with rings and lanterns, I'm out. Forget it. Nope, don't call me again.
US Avengers number 6 continues the trend of allowing us to see Captain America Steve Rogers' quest to dominate the world when we end up picking up with his attempts to eliminate one of the last individuals who has any measure of sway within S.H.I.E.L.D., none other than Robert DaCosta. Of course, those superheroes who were trapped outside of the S.H.I.E.L.D. surrounding the planet Earth are continuing to be attacked by wave after wave of Chitauri forces and being worn down, while at the same time, Robert DaCosta's last line of defense effectively comes crashing down when we end up having Red Hulk snapping into nanobots, only to find out that those nanobots turn against him in the name of Hydra and completely shut down Hulkbuster.
If I can't get help from Sal, Rob, then guess what? I'll bring in hope myself. All will be well. and I will take over the recap once and for all. And since I now am overflowing with willpower and hope, we can end this recap once and for all. The insanity is over. Fear not, viewers. I will take back my channel and my show. But we are running out of time, so let's go ahead and hurry with Ultimates number 7. Ultimates number 7 picks up with our heroes lost out in the middle of space. Desperately trying to get back in and so rudely locked out by Hydra, Monica takes on all the power that she can to blast away at the shield in hopes of taking it down, but it doesn't quite work. So plan B is to send America Chavez off to find the Lifebringer, the current new version of Galactus, who basically tells her that he needs to recoup his energy and his power for a future fight that is coming, and he cannot help them. Earth is on its own. And with that news, Captain Marvel realizes that they are utterly all alone out in space. So guys, thank you for joining us for this entire series in my battles against Rob. Don't worry, I always knew that hope and willpower together would prevail. But just because it's not an important comic book this week does not mean that nothing happened in it, and there is always a comic book out there where somebody wants to know. So let's move on to the honorable mentions and fill you in exactly what happened in DC and Marvel this week. Over in Luke Cage number 1, Noah Bernstein, the man who made Luke Cage invulnerable, is dead, which brings him to New Orleans for a funeral. Here he finds money, glamour, plenty of jobs, and shady deals, along with the clues as to what really happened to Bernstein. Justice League number 21 is the finale of The Endless, and together the Justice League works with the time loop instead of against it to stop the epic tragedy from being on repeat until the end of time. X-Men Gold number 4 has Gambit returning in X-Men. Sadly, he's bitten off more than he can chew, and yet again the X-Men need to step in to help him. What else is new? Gambit always has that problem. Deadpool vs. Punisher number 3 has Deadpool and Punisher continuing their mismatched team up after Deadpool has had his memories scrambled a few too many times to the point where they're asking, why does he have Frank's memories? In Green Arrow number 23, Ollie discovers that the Ninth Circle's plan for Seattle is not good, and his family's legacy of corruption and destruction continues to get worse. Pretty much typical Green Arrow, just I hate everything situation. Harley Quinn number 20 has the ultimate Bat-fan traveling back in time to assassinate Harley Quinn, Batman's future murderer. I wish this took place in the normal timeline because that is just what is going on. Monsters Unleashed number 2 has Kid Kaiju saving the world from an insane monster attack, and now it's time to face off his first supervillain, the Incredible Mole Man. Nightwing number 21 has Nightwing vs. Blockbuster when the criminal returns to his old stomping grounds and attempts to reclaim them as his own. Nick Fury number 2 has Nick Fury on the moon. That's it, he's just kicking ass on the moon. Giant Hydra war on Earth? Nah, it's time for Nick Fury to say goodnight, moon. Royals number 3 has us going back in time to discover the history of Black Bolt and finally unveil the mystery of the last Inhuman. Daredevil number 20 has Daredevil's secret identity revealed again, and he's Matt Murdock. But after he finishes revealing this to the closest individuals he has in his life, he now must deal with the consequences. Is this literally like the 4th time that Matt Murdock has been outed? How are they gonna make it so that no one knows who he is again? Generation X number 1 has the Mutant Education Outreach Program ready to teach and nurture a new generation of politicians and heroes. Guardians of the Galaxy Mother's Entropy number 3 has Mother's Aperture's test has evolved into an unfiltered brawl in Starlin's bar with the Guardians pitted against the other Guardians. Batwoman number 3 is cancer and disease spreading throughout Koreana, and Batwoman has to stop it, and to do so, she needs to use the mercenaries and the gangs and unite them towards a common good. I think that's it, but strangely, I feel like something is missing this.
The Flash number 22 gives us the thrilling conclusion of The Button, and the reveal of exactly who the puppet master of the DC universe happens to be, and who exactly is the one behind the mysterious changes happening across time and continuity within the DC universe. We open with Flash and Batman chasing Eobard Thawne through hypertime as he traces the energy signature of the Button to its origin, with the full intent of killing its owner and stealing their power. When he arrives, he is met with a mysterious blue energy that pulls the life out of him and fries Thawne to a crisp. Sadly, before Batman and Flash can catch up to Thawne, the cosmic treadmill breaks, leaving them adrift through time. Luckily, Jake Garrick is there to save them. Pulled from the ashes of DC continuity, he rises like a phoenix, cradling both Bats and Flash in his very secure arms, using the last of his power to save them and bring them back to the Batcave where it all began. Garrick begs for Flash to remember him and pull him from the Speed Force like he did with Wally, again referencing the larger forces at play, making them forget. But before Barry can remember, Garrick is devoured by a mysterious blue light and vanishes. In the end, we return to where Eobard saw his final moment, the button resting on a cold slab of rock floating through the cosmos. A blue hand reaches out for it, and we hear an echo of a familiar quote. "Why does my perception of time distress you? Everything is preordained, even my responses. We are all puppets, Laurie. I'm just a puppet who can see the strings."
All right, guys, I just want to thank you for sticking through this entire recap series as we experimented with the format and the style and what we were doing. I really, really appreciate everyone who came on board, but the show is going to go on a hiatus probably for about 2 to 3 weeks. What I need to do during that period is I need you guys to give me tips and tricks down below what you enjoyed about the show, what you enjoyed about the narrative, what you would like to see us do more of. Did you enjoy seeing me battle Rob? Do you want to see more narrative, less recaps, more recaps, less narrative? This is your chance to decide how the direction of the show is going to go. We do want to bring it back, but Caitlin's going on a trip to Japan. I've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up, so does Rob. So we thought it would be a good place to leave the story at the moment and take a little bit of a breather. The button just ended. Secret Empire is not going to wrap up until August, so we kind of have a few dry weeks of comic books, and hopefully we'll come back with a whole bunch of great stories for you. Anyway, guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian. Rob is at Comics Explained. Sal is at Sal Says What, and Caitlin is at That Sea Monster. And thank you. Thank you for letting us have a little fun and be creative with something on this channel. I have a lot of fun doing everything, but being creative definitely means a lot more to me, and I enjoyed doing this with you guys and going for the ride. I hope to see you guys on the next series, and that's it. Bye.
Again, I am defeated. Again and again and again and again, and I'm so tired of losing. I joined the Sinestro Corps because I was told that fear was the way to win, but fear is not the way to win because I lost. If that was true, I would have won. And I'm so tired of losing. There has to be a way to defeat Benny once and for all. There has to be a way to win. There has to be a way to win. But what is it? Lantern rings are the most powerful artifacts in existence. If I can't beat him with a Sinestro Corps, oh my God. Oh my God. I figured it out. I don't need a Sinestro Corps ring. I don't need the yellow lanterns. I don't need the red lanterns. I don't need blue lanterns of hope. No. I know what I need. I need my own Lantern Corps. That's what I need. I need my Lantern Corps. I need a Rob Corps.